Hello and welcome to Flowgetter. Today's podcast is with two people, me, Lisa, she, Erica. Welcome. Today's topic is, Erica, tell us what the topic is today.
Today's topic is how climate change and strong opinions are the same thing.
Wow. Oh my God, this is so interesting. I don't know anything you mean, and I can't wait to find out. So let me say it again. Why climate change and people's super strong opinions are the same thing. This is very interesting. Erica, I cannot wait till you tell me everything of what you mean. And with dance, tell me everything. Tell me about this. This is fascinating. What are these things that you mean?
So what do you say? What you mean?
Okay, hit me with your best shot, girl. All right.
Okay. We do have to talk a little bit about the law of attraction as well.
Okay, let's start there.
Let's start there. So, even before that, let me just say the reason
start from the beginning of time. Go. Explain the universe and all dimensions to everyone
in 5 minutes.
Go.
So the reason I wanted to talk about this is because I try not to watch the news or listen to the news too much because it just kind of is usually depressing. However, I see climate change keeps popping up. This extreme weather patterns are changing, and it's super hot or it's super cold, fires, droughts, floods, hurricanes, all sorts of things, and glaciers melting. Yes.
I don't know if there's locusts, but yeah.
Locusts, exactly, in the Bible and things. So biblical. So, and I know it's on a lot of people's minds, and it's so anyway, okay, so there's that. That's why I chose the topic. Okay. And I had a revelation a few months back about, because I'm a huge believer in law of attraction. We are huge believers in law of attraction. And we believe that this kind of just is what, I mean, it's what yes, go ahead. You know.
I was going to say, is it what excites us? Is that what you're going to say?
It's what excites us. Yeah. It's
our favorite thing ever.
It's our favorite thing ever. So maybe we should touch a little bit on that. And I think you are the one who
I like to explain.
Yes. Can you explain it too?
I like to explain things. Okay. Everything's energy. Energy is attractive in nature and only resonates with the same frequencies. If anyone knows anything about science, energy will either cancel itself out or make a bigger wave, right? So that's the science piece. When it comes to law of attraction, everything has electromagnetic energy, and like will attract like, and that's why your thoughts and feelings affect everything.
Ready?
Thank you. Lead into your
yeah, that's perfect. Okay, thoughts and feelings affect everything. Thank you. So if this is true, which I believe it is 100%, then when we have insanely strong opinions and feelings about something one way or another, when we kind of, and I've been seeing this more and more, it's almost like it's cool to, be staunchly opposed to something or staunchly for something. We really,
you can't just be,
it's like, we always have to have an opinion on something. I mean, we grow up, we're taught that, thinking critically and is important in our lives. And it's like, okay, even like dissecting, books and literature and really kind of, anyway, I won't go into that. But point is we live in a world where having strong opinions is what gets us farther in life. And a society is what I think a lot of us believe can get us further in life. Right.
Right.
So if that's the case, and we're raising our people and to be very strongly opinionated and have, whatever, then it's going to manifest itself in big ways. Because I feel like, think about it, politics, medicine. Yeah.
Basically it sounds like instead of sort of being in the center and like of the ability to look at things from a middle place and sort of see the various values in things, people have chosen to polarize, which then is leading into what I think you're going to say, which is things get more extreme, right? Yes. Because the thinking's getting more extreme versus like, well, I can kind of see how you see it there and I see it how you see it there. And these things make sense. And it's a nebulous, complex mist. nobody's more comfortable. Back in the age of reason, people were maybe more comfortable with the complexity, but now maybe as we aren't maybe as educated in a lot of ways, and technology is like our memory can be put on a hard drive. We don't like actually need to remember, math can be done for us, anything. We tend to want to reduce everything and make it reductive, therefore simplify, therefore polarize. Because if you let it be complex and gray, and just go, in the moment I'll make my decision, but but everyone's like, no, you have to decide if you're this or that.
Yes.
And I think, so what you're saying is that this vibrational way of this way of thinking is causing energy to affect then the outside. Correct?
Absolutely. Thank you. You explained it so much better than
Megan, what you're mowing, girl.
You totally see, this is why I need you. This is why, yes. So exactly. And so hence the extreme in weather patterns and like this changing. I mean, when we're doing this on a grand scale, which is what we, you flip on the media in any way, shape, or form, and there is extremism left and right and right and left and all over the place. It's like,
it's on like the edge.
Yes. It's like, what is it? You can't like both Apple and what's the other one? Android.
Orange. Huh?
Oh, sorry. You can't Apple and Android. I like yours.
Well, you
better.
Can't, because
you just can't. Like
no,
it's not. It's exactly. It's like a rule. You're not allowed to like both. You have to pick like a Mac or a PC. You have to pick between. Even like when we just settled on a middle school for Tanner, for my kid, and
our video editor. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it was like, this school is better than that. And like all of his friends are going to all these different schools, and it kind of turned into this. Well, this school's way better than that school. And the truth is they're all good schools. It's just like, you just got to pick one, and some depend. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just thinking, people say this is better than this, but you can thrive in any condition. So what people are doing is externalizing which is crazy that you're talking about weather, because it's very external, right?
Yes.
Is like, but you can thrive in any condition if you have the right, like, I'll say consciousness about something. And so a person, so that's like saying all the kids that go to the bad schools are having the most horrible experience and nothing good can come out of that. And there's no it's like, well, that's ridiculous, because if we're all part of the same oneness with same source, like there isn't like two sources of anything of life. There's one source of life. Let's just agree.
All connected.
If you can't agree on that there's one source of life,
turn it off right now.
Then just go. Get out of here. We don't need you. We value your opinion, and yet goodbye. Okay. No, we welcome discussion, but
yes, of course.
We're coming from the point of view, which is there's just truly one source of life, and how you want to color that and whatever, and make whatever happened after that, but one source of life. So what we're saying is if people are going they live in the bad areas, because if you watch those documentaries of the people who literally live on like 5 cents a day in the poorest area of India, have smiles on their faces, they love their family, and sure, they wish their conditions were a little bit better, obviously, but they're happier than 90% of the people I see walking around all grumpy and driving around in perhaps a nicer car than, a rickshaw, right?
Yes, a rickshaw.
Or their bare feet with calluses on them, right? So you can't say that there's better or worse, but how do you explain this to 11-year-olds, right?
Yeah.
We hope you're listening, all you 11-year-olds. But the thing is that if you're externalizing your happiness, like this is the good stuff, this is the bad stuff. And of course, the good stuff always goes with the more affluent stuff, and vice versa, or the clean or the dirty, all this kind of thing. This is what rips people apart. This is what makes people go, that must be bad, and why people don't have compassion for other parts of the world or other people's situations, because they are externalizing happiness. Like if you realize that this is just you and your perspective, and you could go to the crappiest school and have the best experience ever.
Yes.
Like you really could. I don't know how that, but that's your frame of mind. And 2 kids can go to the best school ever, and one will have a great experience and one will have a shitty experience. Pardon my French.
That is absolutely correct.
Let's take it back to you. Let's talk about how you think that the weather then is like tied into all this stuff, like, because that's really external and that's really big and it's planetary.
It is.
So tell me more about how you think this, because I'm sort of taking it on an individual level, but I kind of want to hear.
Well, you're right. It's important to also discuss the individual, because that's all we have control over is our own. We can make the choice to not be extreme. And that's kind of where I'm going to get is, so I, again, I'm going to bring up politics, not anything specific.
I know. Politics breaks.
Okay. And the reason is because that is the one thing that comes to mind when I think of deep polarization, especially in this country. And I imagine it's in a lot of other countries as well. But it is such a polarizing topic, and religion as well is a very polarizing topic. And it strikes me, a lot of people are into religion, a lot of people are into politics, and that's fine and fair. The problem, I think, is when it gets to a point where it is so extreme, and again on a big, like on a global level. I mean, we're talking like, I don't think that I know a single person in my circle of people outside of maybe you, not even maybe outside of you. I think that maybe doesn't have super strong opinions one way or the other when it comes to politics. And that says a lot, because even my closest people have strong opinions. Right. And so, and I say that, so anyway, if you think about this on a grand scale, there are going to be people way over here and people way over here, and a lot of them. And why wouldn't there then be the energy that's put out into the universe, into this world, that says, okay, bring the extreme of something over here and the other extreme of something over here, in the form of drought, in the form of flood, in the form of, whatever it is. So you
lots of wind, no wind.
Lots of wind. Exactly. Yes. Yes. And so the reason this excites me actually is because it says we have control over this. I totally am on board with recycling and conserving and doing your part, like in the physical world. I'm on board with that. I think even more than that, though, keep doing those things that I'm saying.
Don't stop recycling.
Don't stop recycling, because that's helpful. More than that, though, let's look at our own beliefs and our own opinions and how we express those in the world. And maybe we don't need to care so much about, well, like, is it really that important for us to have these super strong opinions about the things that we have? I don't know.
The answer is no.
Yes.
And here's why. Yes. Because nobody does actually anything beyond voting. In 4 years, what the hell has anybody done that's bitching about any candidate? And done meaning, are you joining groups to improve the things that you don't like?
Yes.
Whatever those are.
Yes, exactly.
The answer is, in groups, not being hate groups. Let's be honest. I'm not excited about people joining hate groups. Please try to not do that.
We're not about hate. We're about
I know you want belonging, and I know you want some camaraderie, but try to. But the people who are joining groups to go, wow, I want change in this area. Obviously legislation is really slow, but like you can get grounds. People have made suffrage would be a great example. It was, groups hung together. They said, hey, come on. And, there's a lot of examples where you do it the slow way and it still works. People want it fast, but fast is also violent. If you hit the brakes really fast in your car when it's going fast, that's violent. If you slowly drive, So anyway, point being, you're talking about, I'm going to bring us back. Sorry, I was going off track.
That's good. Yeah.
Extreme. The answer is no to it. You don't really need this extreme opinion, because it's not all it's doing. So you can make a decision like, okay, I like candidate A or B, or I don't like either, but it's less of two evils, or I don't even want to participate, whatever you want to do, but you don't have to get all hot and bothered about it. Exactly. Because you're not doing anything with that energy. Exactly. All you did was show up at a poll and then you just look at the news for 4 years. You're doing nothing other than putting out chi. And this chi is affecting it. The chi is frying shit, people. This is what I want to say.
It is, exactly.
It's frying stuff.
That's exactly what it's doing.
So I don't, because a lot of people are like, but I'm on the good side and I've got all the whatever. Okay. You're still not doing anything. You're just broadcasting polarized energy. That's all you're doing. Whether it's right or wrong, it's still polarized energy. And unless you're going to take yourself and march your ass somewhere where you're going to clean the ocean or, fix the infrastructure of the city you live in or help something to be better, your chi is just going where, the whole time. And then that's literally affecting weather. Okay, how scientifically can we say this? Because I think people are like, that's too far of a jump. And I'm going to say back to the waves. Waves either cancel each other out or they amplify. That's pure science. That's like basic stuff you learn in grade school or whatever. Okay, maybe high school. Electromagnetic energy doesn't stop 3 feet from you. Okay. Energy there's no container of it. It is, and it goes from here to the far reaches of this galaxy. So you can't argue with me that it doesn't affect anything. It does. It's like a ripple in the pond. You're like, oh, but it's dissipated. Energy is not created or destroyed. We all agree on that.
Yes.
So what do you think's happening here? It doesn't seem like it doesn't affect, but you can take a small drop of poison every day and you're not going to see any change, but you will see a change in, a period of time over in your body. So I think what you're saying is that this isn't, or at least what I'm saying is this isn't just an idea of, it affects the weather. It's actual freaking science, people.
I love you.
And Erica comes up with the theory and I come up with the science.
Explanation.
Exactly. Well, I think because that the left brain part of me and part of other people is like, and then you'll talk yourself out of it because you think it's not real.
Yeah. And
you kind of go back and forth between the new age and the real world and the new age and the real world. And I see this happen to my friends all the time where they want to be a new age and then they're, the real world comes and scares them because they're not seeing the connection. So I think one of the jobs that I have on this earth is to try and help bridge the connection between, the sort of spiritual experience or the out there-ness and the real world. You're just living the truth and I'm living the truth. But I have a hard time sometimes with that too. So this helps me walk through that as well. So
it's so helpful and you're really good at that. And to your point, like I just want to say that my belief is that the science part, the physical world, everything physical, we can touch, taste, see, hear, smell. Like
you can lick your iPhone. Why would you want to do that? I don't know. Okay.
Oh God, I love you. And that's science. All the things that you can see and that are in this science. I'm science. This is science.
You are.
The new agey, the spiritual realm is the same thing. It's just not something that can
measure.
Right. And so if we kind of can get on board with that, and to Lisa's point, yes, like she just laid out how it is the same thing and one thing connects to the next. And it's awesome. And you think about what she just said from an individual, how energy, we put out the energy individually. Well, think about that in a group of 1,000 or 10,000. And that's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When you think
I didn't even think about the group.
like think of the group all having the same belief. Well, no wonder we're affecting these massive changes in the weather. Like we've got a who knows, like thousands of Republicans and thousands of Democrats, self-proclaimed people who have these very strong opinions on these very different strong opinions, right?
Right.
And so that's
just a lot of chi because
it's a lot of chi.
It's a lot of chi. It's kind of like the yin yang thing. Yin yang, sorry, pronounce that. That it's the white side and the dark side aren't wrong. Like it's not this one's good, this one's bad. It's the harmony that makes things work. Yeah. And I think it's just a lot of chi because who knows? Maybe side A or side B is right. I don't want to get into that. What I'm trying to get into is like your chi is strong.
The chi is strong.
The chi is strong. And strong chi is like if you thought of it like a lightsaber, you wouldn't whip that thing all over the place. You're just like, whoa, careful with that thing. Yeah. I think what people don't realize is that chi is actually very strong and affects people, but because we can't measure it with our scientific evidence, and only people that are sensitive like myself, you, and a lot of other, people, they feel it, and there's no science to back up what they're feeling.
Right.
But if it was something in the physical world, people would be like, you need a license for that thing, so it's like, people, you need a license for your mind.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Yes. And you just reminded me of another point. And I'm not sure, I'm just going to say it and we can discuss or not.
Oh,
the universe doesn't judge. I'm just going to say that the universe doesn't judge. So here's the thing. When we have these, because opinions to me are related to judgment, and judgment to me equals, maybe we shouldn't do that. But I do it. I admittedly do it. I think all of us do it here and there a little bit, even just in my mind. I'm doing it. So
I've never judged anyone. I don't know.
I've never judged anyone. Never.
Lies. I know.
So, but the thing to remember is the universe doesn't judge. All it is it's basically kind of like a reflection of, us. So it's like we do something, believe something, feel something, and the universe says, oh, this is what's going on. And it shows us what's going on in here. And that's all it is. It's not saying that's right or wrong. It's just showing us a mirror of this. So if we're going to have these super strong opinions, the universe is going to come along and say, oh, here's what's going on. If we have droves of the same opinion, the universe can be like, oh, that's a big thing. Here's a big mirror. Here's a giant hailstorm. Here's a whatever, like, because there's a lot of, like Lisa's saying, a lot of chi, a lot of what, So
and the quality of that chi, like, that's where, stress and anxiety, it's literally just energy, but is it flowing? Let's go back to the Flowgetter as the thing. Is it flowing in the right way? Because at the end of the day, it's just energy, but you're bouncing it in, a certain way that makes it more rough on your system. And then as we all know, stress just like, so if you're doing that to yourself, you're doing it to everything else. Like, you really are. There's no cutoff, people.
There's no cutoff.
There's no cutoff. It doesn't end in this little spot. It goes everywhere.
So I'm going to say this. So the takeaway, I think, from this today is maybe do some self-reflection and kind of just look at the kind of strong opinions that you have and the strong kind of emotions, things that get you going, and maybe look at why. Maybe try to understand, is that necessary? Do I really need to feel this way about this thing? And how is that affecting me? How is that affecting those around me? How is that affecting my environment? Because I think if we all did that, I guarantee you would see a change in this whole discussion on climate change. You would. It would take care of itself. I really do believe that.
Yeah.
If we all kind of did that.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And thank you for sort of summarizing like what people can do, what I can do, because we all have it. And, just because Erica and I discover nuances of existence doesn't mean we're not perpetrating these things.
Yes. Thank you.
We can perp too.
Not perfect.
Perp. Perps. Yeah, so perps. But I also think that, so that was really well said. Thank you for that. And I think there's like infinite things to talk about, but I thought that was infinite. We'll take it up on the next podcast. Erica, thank you so much for your insights and your synthesis of, life and how you're seeing the world and the truth that you're bringing to me and anybody listening. And listeners, thank you so much. Tell us what you think, and we'd love to interact with you more. Find out more on flowgetter.com. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.